Hey guys, so today we have a Mikayla Nogueira video. I just spoke about Glamzilla and then I remembered some things about Mikayla, so I just thought I'd leave it for a separate video, give them all their own time and room and space to breathe. So kind of me. But subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment for engagement. Let's just get into it. So, she recently did another L'Oreal sponsorship, and I don't know if you guys remember Lashgate. It was this tiny little drama that no one ever talked about, and it was about the same time that it happened. It was kind of like January, February that Lashgate happened. Let me give you guys a little recap if you need it. Mikayla Nogueira posts a L'Oreal mascara brand deal. And she doesn't say it's a brand deal. She just says she's like a L'Oreal partner, and then the paid thing comes on later on once she gets a lot of hate for it, and she uses false lashes to make the effect of the mascara look better. And it was this like massive drama where people were talking about the FTC guidelines and being honest and authentic and real, and why did L'Oreal approve this. And there was just a lot of conversations about like, yes, she made it and she sent it to them for approval, or maybe they didn't want approval, which is their fault as well. And she didn't say that it was sponsored, but she also put on these false lashes, and it's like this double whammy, right? And L'Oreal saw all of this, and at no point did they think, let's tell her to take off the false lashes, let's tell her to disclose verbally. Because I don't know if you guys know, I've been banging on about this for a minute, but the FTC guidelines are very clear in the fact that you have to not only on screen show that it's a paid ad, and just the given like paid ad thing that you check on TikTok is not enough. You kind of have to write it yourself, and it has to be before the show more, but you also have to verbally say it, right? So it has to be super crystal clear that your video is sponsored. So obviously she got into a lot of drama with L'Oreal, and L'Oreal kind of left a bad taste in people's mouths. So it's kind of interesting that around the same time, February now, she is doing another sponsorship with L'Oreal, but this time it looks very different. She's doing a hair care brand deal, and I'll just let it roll.
This hair needs a little help. It is so dry, and I don't even want to talk about my split ends. Apparently, this is a very good dupe for a very popular bonding line. And thank you so much to L'Oreal for partnering with me on this video. Let's do this. I'm gonna let this sit 5 to 10 minutes. I wish you could feel just how soft my hair is right now. Feels so healthy. Basically, you don't need to break the bank to have healthy hair.
As you guys heard, she verbally disclosed, which is shocking to me because I don't think I've ever heard her say that. Like, I don't think I've ever, that's shocking to me based on how many sponsorships she has done. I've never heard her say personally, this video is sponsored by blah blah, which I've done so many brand deals in my life, like over, you know, the last 5 or 6 years now being on YouTube and it being kind of my full-time job, which I can't even believe it's been that long. That's so crazy to me. I was literally like 18 when I started. This is wild, and I'm about to turn 24. But anyway, I've done a lot of brand deals, like multiple a month, right, on most months, and I've always said this video is sponsored by, this video is very kindly sponsored by, this video is blah 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 blah. Thank you for sponsoring today's video. Like, you guys know this because I just say it all the time. So it's shocking to me that I've never heard her say that until now, which I'm not saying that she's never said it in the past, I've just never heard it, which means it doesn't happen very often. So she obviously had to verbally disclose it, but as you can see, that bit was edited in afterwards.
Apparently, this is a very good dupe for a very popular bonding line. And thank you so much to L'Oreal for partnering with me on this video.
So I'm just wondering if she sent a video for approval that didn't have the verbal disclosure, and they said, hey, can you add it in? We've been in so much drama with you. We want to start, you know, properly disclosing that things are sponsored, because we'll get in trouble as well. Because I don't know if you guys know that the FTC has started fining people recently, but it was on a whole different side of TikTok. So there's actually a Forbes article about this. FTC clamping down on nutrition influencers over artificial sweetener promotions. Here's what to know. And maybe a lot of influencers don't know about this. It's like a whole different side of the internet to a lot of the beauty gurus, and it is mainly the beauty influencers that are not disclosing properly. And maybe a lot of them don't know about this, but I do feel like a lot of brands are starting to find out about this because they're probably like on top of these things, you know, and they thought they could get away with it for a long time. And then finally the FTC started, you know, clamping down on it. And I think L'Oreal basically just said, like, this is not worth it to us. How much you make in sales for us is going to be completely irrelevant once the FTC makes us pay a fine for this, and makes us pay a fine for every single time someone did a L'Oreal sponsorship but didn't disclose it. So Forbes wrote, the Federal Trade Commission, which is the FTC, sent warning letters to 2 food and beverage trade associations and a dozen dietitians and social media health influencers for inadequately disclosing paid posts and who was paying them for posts promoting artificial sweeteners and sugary foods. A crackdown the FTC hopes sets a precedent across all influencer marketing. This was to do with Diet Cokes, when the artificial sweetener in Diet Cokes and a lot of diet drinks was starting to get banned. A lot of dietitians and nutritionists on TikTok who might not actually know what they're talking about, obviously saying how it's completely fine, like artificial sweeteners sweeteners are completely healthy and fine, and like, don't be worried. Like, this is just such like fear mongering and stuff. Now they're cracking down because it's not correct, and they also weren't saying that they were associated. So key facts: the FTC's letter to the American Beverage Association, a lobbying group that counts Coca-Cola, Lipton, PepsiCo as members, and the Canadian Sugar Institute, warned the two trade associations might be in violation of the FTC Act for inadequately disclosing that they apparently hired influencers to promote the safety of aspartame or the consumption of sugar-containing products. A dozen diet and health influencers from Instagram and TikTok received individual letters from the FTC addressing almost 3 dozen apparently paid posts, including some disputing and downplaying a report from the World Health Organization on the dangers of aspartame, and posts about craving sugary foods such as ice cream that either did not disclose they were made as part of the partnership or contained inadequate disclosure of paid partnerships with the trade associations. And I feel like this is even more vile than the beauty non-disclosures, because this is to do with someone's health and someone's food and food habits and eating habits. And we do know that eating too much sugar is not healthy. It's not good for you. You shouldn't deny yourself a sweet treat, but this idea that you can just eat as much sugar as you want, I mean, it's not healthy. And just because you drink Diet Coke instead of regular Coke doesn't make it any better, because I feel like the artificial sweeteners are actually just worse than sugar. And I used to drink Diet Coke. I used to be obsessed with Diet Coke, and now I'll just allow myself a full fat Coke every now and then, and that's fine. And I say that as someone who's actually gained weight over the last 2 or 3 years, and I am at a much healthier weight now than I was, and I feel much healthier, but it does not mean that I give myself free reign to just eat sugar all day, because I don't think that's good for me. The fact that they were not only promoting kind of harmful behaviors sometimes for some of these people, I'm not saying that all of them are promoting harmful behaviors, but some of them definitely were, to say that, you know, the reports are incorrect and that you should just keep on eating sugar if you want and eating these artificial sugars as much as you want, like, that's obviously unhealthy, and it's gross to paint that image as someone who is maybe in a trusted position as a nutritionist or a dietitian, but to then get paid for that by, you know, essentially Diet Coke and then not disclose it. Like, there's just so many red flags there. But I'm glad they were called out, because I think, like, we need to start with these and then maybe go over to the beauty influencers. This is like disgusting. So each letter pointed out concerns with disclosures on sponsored posts that were either not clearly visible, vague by only using hashtags such as ad or paid partnership, or did not clearly name the trade associations who were paying them for the video. The influencers could face civil penalties of up to $50,120 per violation if they continue to inadequately disclose which posts are sponsored and by what companies, and have been asked to contact the FTC within 15 days to explain how they will address the FTC's concerns. The warning letters are meant to set a precedent for disclosing paid posts and partnerships among food influencers and all of influencer marketing, Samuel Levine, the director of FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, told the Washington Post. The Canadian Sugar Institute did not immediately respond to Forbes' request for comment, because they're also in the wrong. Just like with Lashgate, it wasn't just Mikayla Nogueira, but it was Mikayla Nogueira for sure, but it was also L'Oreal. Apparently this year, the influencer marketing industry is expected to be worth $21.1 billion. So when someone says, Lashgate was not a big deal, who cares, you would do it for a check too, well, you're contributing to $20 billion that is made unethically. Honestly, it is made in a way that isn't real or authentic. You're allowed to make money from influencer marketing, but you should be telling people that you're making money, and people should know when you are recommending a product that you are being paid to directly recommend this product. Mainly when it's something like artificial sweetener and Diet Coke, and you're being paid essentially by Diet Coke. I know they were being paid by the like American Beverage Association, but they are a lobbying group that works with Coca-Cola, Lipton, and PepsiCo as members. So it's basically getting paid by Diet Coke to say that Diet Coke is healthy. Like, how ridiculous is that? And to get money for that and not even tell people they're getting paid for that, and they trust you as a nutritionist or a dietitian to have their best, you know, health in mind, and you're doing this. It's absolutely ridiculous. So Mikayla is definitely in a bit of a situation right now, and I feel like a lot of beauty influencers need to get their together, or they're going to start getting charged. And I hope that they get charged for I hope that the FTC starts going backwards through all the content and starts requesting, you know, show me the contracts, how much you got paid for this ad and this ad and this ad and this ad that you didn't disclose properly, and we're going to fine you just that. And so that it comes out to you making no money, and until you learn, we will fine you. And I think that is a necessary thing to do to get these influencers to start disclosing properly. People are also commenting on Mikayla Nogueira's recent weight loss, which is not really something that I want to talk about necessarily, but they're commenting on her weight loss, if she's using Ozempic or not. And I mean, you know, but they are still talking about how much she is photoshopping and face tuning and video shopping and angling herself in pictures and videos to make herself look smaller or curvy in different ways, or you know what it is. And she recently did address all of that in a TikTok.
Okay, people have a lot to say about my body and just like how I look in general, but I want to talk about something because it drives me mad. So people always look at like pictures that I take of myself versus pictures that people take like out in public or like candid shots, and they notice that like I look different in both of them. I am not a photogenic person like in any way. But like what they mean is like, say it's like a photo of me and like waist is so fucking snatched, I'm like all hot and sexy like this. But then in the photo of me in public, it's like, and I'm like fat. And then they're like, she photoshops her body, she's lying. And I'm just like, dude, can we like be for real? And saying this as someone who is nowhere near a fucking supermodel, but I am in an above average size body, people really try to take any image of me where my body looks really good and say, that's fucking photoshopped. There's no way because she's fat. But nope. There are occasions where I can have an outfit on and I am fucking snatched, okay? But there are also occasions where if someone in public sees me and they take a photo of me and I'm just fucking chilling, that I'm gonna look like this. And I'm gonna look like, you know, resting normal. You know, like I can't fucking win. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells about everything. So yeah, on TikTok videos where I'm showing off an outfit or just, you know, doing a transition video, hell fucking yeah, I'm gonna be posing so that I feel confident and beautiful. I'm not gonna be like fucking, yeah, bro, I look fucking hot. Like, no, like I'm just trying to understand how people cannot realize that that is why I look different in these public images of me. Because I don't always look like that, obviously. So yes, you're gonna see pictures of me out in public where my body is not snatched by any means. Because I'm human, and I'm not always posing like a fucking Kardashian. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't deserve to feel good in my body, and it doesn't mean that I Photoshop or edit my body in photos that I have taken and angled myself. And the whole, like, she distorts and makes her face skinny in videos, like, no, I do not. I use angles that I like. I use really good lighting because that is what I'm comfortable with. It is not easy putting videos out to 15 million people, okay? Especially when I struggle with self-confidence and body dysmorphia and all kinds of shit. I just do things that I feel comfortable. But yeah, there will be times where if I'm out in public, I'm having a double chin. Like, that's just normal. Okay, I've said my piece.
Where she kind of talks about how upsetting it is to be, you know, compared to these posed pictures when she's just out in the wild, and that she's just not very photogenic. But I think there is a difference between not being photogenic and looking completely different. The thing is, Mikayla looks like two wildly different people. I'm not very photogenic, as in like if someone just takes a picture of me out in the wild, I will look different, but I feel like I still look like the same person. She looks like two different people, and she's been doing this her whole career, and it's honestly concerning with how young we know the fans on TikTok are, mainly with, you know, the rise of the Sephora kids. We know who is watching beauty videos. So we know that, first of all, not disclosing your ads is a massive deal because these kids don't know, and they think that these products are the best thing on earth because their favorite influencer said so, not knowing that their favorite influencer got paid to say that, which, I mean, the products could still be good, but you know what I mean? These kids are so young, they don't understand. And so then too, they don't understand filters, angles. They think everyone just looks so perfect and amazing and beautiful all day, every day. And I think Mikayla Nogueira is heavily doing that. And she's like a massive part of this. And recently, Cece Suarez on Instagram has been talking about this whole thing, essentially, after Mikayla posted her TikTok about it. Listen, it's 5 a.m. and I've been up since 3 a.m, so I'm a little delirious, but I have a question. How is Mikayla's audience okay with her editing herself this much when her job is reviewing, promoting, and showcasting makeup products? Does the TikTok generation just not care about ethics and consumer awareness? Y'all didn't grow up with overly photoshopped gossip magazines that were constantly body shaming everyone, and it shows. Okay, back to bed now. And she posts side by sides where she looks like two different people. And this is not angles, this is not lighting, this is one professional picture compared to something that she filmed in her own room. There's great angles and lighting and posing, then there's filters and body altering video editing apps. This dress is gorgeous, as Mikayla would say, it's stunning. Why did I say that with a British accent? That's not how she would say that. But yeah, like, these are two wildly different people. And I'm not saying which one's prettier, which one's uglier. I think they're both just Mikayla Nogueira, but one is more authentic and one isn't. If you're not selling, reviewing, or promoting something, I don't care. Edit yourself into a new human if you want to. But if you're reviewing clothing, doing makeup tutorials, reviews, even promoting body positivity, and you're editing yourself into another person, that's not okay. It's extra messed up if you lie about it too. Personally, I've edited my photos before. Hell yeah, I have. Never to make myself skinnier or into someone I'm not. I mean, I've taken off, like, if my makeup started to look a bit crunchy towards the end of the day and I'm doing a thumbnail or something, I will cover up a zit or cover up a red blemish, but that is not what my content's about. But if I'm doing a makeup review on my second channel, you will see up close and personal all the crusties and all the hair on my face, because that's what a makeup tutorial is about, or a makeup review. If I'm posting weird or the pic is at an awkward angle and I wasn't able to do a retake, then yep, I'll fix that by editing the pic. I've even made my boobs a little smaller in pics before, and that's never while reviewing or promoting anything, because that's unethical. Also, going crazy with photo editing really messes with our brain, so don't do that to yourself, please. Okay, bye-bye. And I completely agree with everything that C Suarez here said. It's what I've been thinking for a while, and I think whenever we bring it up, it sounds like we're fat shaming or we're shaming the way she looks or whatever else it is, and there is none of that. I would have much rather preferred her to look completely natural in her TikToks, and I think that would just be so much more pleasing for everyone. And yes, I think that's all the Mikayla Nogueira drama we got going on today. It's all quite serious stuff, you know? Ad disclosure and FTC fines and face tuning and how that affects young minds and young people, and I just think it's super important to talk about those. So don't let anyone minimize this if you're also not okay with this, because I think it's all a big deal. But subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.